All right, welcome to the show. This is Encore Chat. My name is Judy Bonilla. I'm a gerontologist and aging expert living in San Diego. And today our conversation is around collaboration. And the reason I was inspired to bring our two guests on are that I actually sat in on a workshop that they did at my co-working space, which is Hera Hub. And I found their program, their ideas, one, fantastic, and two, I thought about a few of my friends who went into partnerships unsuccessfully. And that's a lot to learn from. And when I heard these two talk about how they identified the steps into a program, I thought they really need to come on the show, and that's why they're here today. So I'm going to start with Jobie because she's to my right. And Jobie is a financial coach and strategist. I'm trying to get my notes up. Jobie, can you tell us a little bit more about your background?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. So I am a relationship and money coach, and I help people with being able to really be able to improve their business by making sure that they look at their own relationships around money. So it's relationships with themselves as well as relationships to others as it relates to money. And that really relates quite a bit to collaborations, because in collaborations, that tends to be one of the areas of breaking down. So really make sure people have agreements in place, make sure that they have compassionate communications, really scripts, templates to be able to have a really effective communication around money. So that's really a little bit about me.
Great. And Debby Eubank is the founder of Niche on Purpose, as well as a coach. So Debby, can you tell us a little bit more and tell us a little bit more about your background?
Sure. So I've been a coach for 17 years, coaching entrepreneurs on how to clarify their purpose and turn it into a profitable business. And over these years, I've found as my clients have gotten into their niche and become successful, they're often working so hard and doing everything alone, and they hit a wall where they're not able to earn more revenue, make more of an impact, and even sometimes get the clients they want. And so we end up needing to work with others, to collaborate, to grow our businesses together. And so when I personally hit that plateau, I knew that I received this guided message saying, listen, you've done everything you can alone. It's time to collaborate. So I jumped into collaborations, and we're here to support each other and to support the world.
Great. Now, I caught a little reverb on the back, so I don't know if there's a volume going on as well somewhere. So I just noticed that.
I wasn't sure if that was me or not. Volume, shall I turn it down just a tad?
Yeah, turn it down and see if that might correct that. Great, cool.
Pretty low right now, but okay. All right.
So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about Heartcentered collaboration. You mentioned some of the idea that prompted it, and then how you two connected, and how entrepreneurs might be able to use this to move their business forward.
Yeah. So what we found in just our own collaboration, tell me if you're getting reverb. Are you okay?
You sound much better. It went down.
I moved a little closer. So I'm going to help. So we found that there's actually some very key steps that you need to go through to create what we call heart-centered collaborations. And the one that's probably the most important that sets a collaboration into forward movement that's successful is choosing the right partner. And if you don't choose the right partner, and there's some very specific criteria to do that, to make sure that they're in alignment with you, that your business strategy, your business vision, your purpose, your values, numerous variables. In fact, if you go to, I think we're going to share a link later, we'll actually give you a free checklist of those variables for choosing the right partner, because it's very extensive. So if you choose the right partner, then you set yourself up for success. So that's step one of collaborations. And Jobie, maybe you want to even high level the other 5 steps for them?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that. One of the things I wanted to point out when it comes to choosing the right partner, which I find is really a great analogy with choosing the right partner, is it's kind of like when you're dating someone and kind of jumping in too soon. We found that a lot of people, when it comes to choosing the right partner, they actually jump in too soon during that kind of dating phase, really the attraction phase. When they meet someone at a networking event or they meet them out somewhere and they think, wow, we have really aligned mission values. We have the great ideas that we want to get together and let's do something together. And they jump right in, kind of like when you jump in a bed too soon type of thing. And so the reason that we got so clear on all the different parts of choosing the right partner is because, of course, what happens when you jump in the attracting phase is sometimes you end up really disappointed, really frustrated, and the collaboration doesn't make the money that you want as well. So just wanted to kind of put that piece in there because I think you and I really got clear. It's kind of like relationships of all sorts. It really is.
No, it's very grounded. Can I just add to that? It's very grounded. So it's founded on wanting heart-centered collaborations, which is very connected. It's also very grounded on what we've heard from other individuals is that they connect at the heart emotionally with somebody. They get excited. They jump in. So this process really helps you to be very grounded in making a good decision that later on you don't end up realizing, wow, this was never a great fit to begin with. So Jobie's analogy just really was great. Thanks for sharing that again.
Yeah. And what I heard in that is you're excited about a new relationship, whether it's dating or perhaps you meet somebody at a networking event and you think, okay, there's synergy, like-minded, seem to have a lot going on. What usually propels people to take the next step without doing, I'll say, due diligence? What can people say? How do we keep the energy without making a commitment? How do we ask for a second date? What do you suggest? Because that's where, let's meet for coffee. Let's get, you've already got your life mapped out with this new colleague because you see, like I say, the potential for collaboration. What do you suggest? Because I think you want to strike while the iron's hot. We don't want to lose a hot lead, but we need to be careful. What do you recommend?
If you don't mind, she seeded so well one of the steps, which is really choosing the right type. One of our steps of the process is what type of collaboration do you choose? When you're first meeting somebody, it's just like dating. You want to start with something lower commitment, whether it might be something like a teleseminar or a one-time 1-hour workshop or, something that doesn't have a lot of commitment up front. So you get to experience each other and start to build some trust and really make sure there's a real alignment with your work. And so it is very similar to dating where it's just, you don't just jump into, a 2, 3, 5, 6 month commitment without having had some second and third and fourth and fifth dates.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's the key is just really taking it slowly. And you were asking earlier, what are the steps? And the one that Debbie started with, the choosing the right partner, is definitely really important. But the other steps of that is really establishing kind of step 2, after choosing the right partner. Step 2 is establishing heart-centered communication. Since that's really important to us, it's not about the money only. It's the money, and it's also to make a bigger difference in the world, really make a greater impact, and have healthy relationships. So module 2 is all about communicating. How do you talk with each other? How do you connect with one another? That's module 2, establish heart-centered communications. Module 3 is exactly what Debbie just referred to, which is about how to choose the right collaboration type. And this is exactly where people tend to jump into quickly. Debbie and I have known each other for a couple of years. So for us to do a longer term program like this one, that is more congruent for us. But it wouldn't be for someone who just met at a networking event, or maybe they've had coffee once or twice. So choosing that right type, like Debbie said, whether it's a webinar or it's just a quick teleseminar is very different than creating whole programs together. And then the fourth step is choosing the right offer. And this one, oh my gosh, and it's so important as well. I feel like they're all important, but
they are.
They really are.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. But the key here with choosing the right offer is, and I'm just doing a quick overview and then we can go into more details in them, but the fourth one of choosing the right offer is an offer that's a win-win-win for both of the collaborators, but also the people you're serving, the people that are going to receive the information. And the key here is to have an offer that doesn't create into any type of competition, because that's one of people's biggest fears around collaborating is that, well, what if people end up going to that other person as their coach or their consultant? So an offer that really helps you to serve your tribe, the people that you're working with together, to use a term that Debbie uses all the time, but also something that serves our own individual businesses, because we both have our own businesses as well as having something together. So we have an offer together. And then step 5 is really clarifying the strategy, the collaboration strategy, the actual steps, the action steps that are going to help people have success with that collaboration, really the whole business model, the whole piece of it, all the pieces put together. And then the last step is establishing collaboration agreements, which even though it's at the end, it's because you need to have all the other parts first. And agreements, again, really important step, and that's written agreements so that you make sure you know exactly how the money works, you know how you agree to work with one another, clear roles, responsibilities, commitments, and really looking at, do we have the time and the money, to really do this? What is the commitment regarding who pays for what? How do we get paid? So much around that section. So I'll let you guys jump in now, but I wanted to make sure we did outline kind of the steps of a really heart-centered, healthy collaboration.
I love one thing I want to share about this, Judy, is something that probably a lot of people have heard already. If anybody ever follows Lisa Sasevich, she's got this terminology called reverse engineering. And it's about reverse engineering your collaboration as well, meaning that you want to really look at what's your intent as a result of your collaboration, both for your own individual business as well as for the collaboration and also for the other individual. If you're really looking at what's your outcome, what do you want to have happen after the collaboration ends, like an exit strategy created up front, knowing, and not in a negative way, in a positive way. Like, okay, so how are we going to benefit even more and make our impact even greater, of course, grow our business, and also really make an impact in that collaboration. So it's about reverse engineering, choosing your collaboration strategy, your offer, your type, your partner, all of those based upon your own individual business vision, personal vision, and that it's really in alignment. And what's the next step you would want somebody who came to the collaboration to follow you in your work if it was in alignment with them? What would you be offering them next to serve them? So it's really being thoughtful so that you create something that's just in highest good for everybody. Yeah.
Jobie, did you want to add something to that, or?
No, I thought that was great. Okay, no, I was just listening really intently. No, okay, good.
Oh, good. So I wanted to take a step back because I heard a couple of things, and I want everyone to understand a little bit better. So you meet someone because as an entrepreneur, small business owner, we are constantly out in the community, maybe doing formal or informal networking. What are some of the steps that we might be able to qualify someone in as a potential collaborator or qualify someone out? Do you have a thought around that, or your personal opinions, what you do based in your businesses?
I'll jump in first, and then I know Debbie has lots of great ideas here. And this is where, after we have this part, I'll put up a link to the checklist, because we actually have a formal checklist that you can utilize for this process. But one of the biggest pieces, which is something that Debbie and I have had to work through a little bit, because I've been growing in my business and transitioning even the focus of my business. One of the very most important pieces is being landed. That's a Debbieism. It's a Debbie term, but it's being so fully landed in your own business. Because when you come together with two different people, it's really important that you know your business really clearly. And what I mean by this is I meet people all the time who say, I'm a health coach, for example, but they're just a general health coach. And then later they get clearer and clearer that, oh, I work with hormones. And then they get clearer, I only work with adrenal fatigue. And, oh, I only work with women, right? So the key here is to really make sure that you're both truly landed in your own businesses. And really, in the checklist, we talk about really know thyself, know thy business, and then that's when you look at what you do to choose the partner. So you have to know your own vision, your own goals, how you want your life to look, and then you look at how your business works, your strategy, your vision, and then you go to choosing the right partner. So there was a 3-step process. I'll go ahead and, while you talk, if you want, Debbie, I'll go ahead and put that link up for people.
Okay, great. Yeah. So let me explain landed a little bit, because I think this is really key. For me, being a purpose coach and niche strategist, I look for, I don't collaborate with people that don't know their value in the world, that haven't what I call landed, meaning that they're very clear. Who do you serve specifically? And you really know who that is, and you know them really well. And what's the specific problems that they're struggling to have solved? And how do you personally solve those? What's the specific, what I call bold promise outcome that you can provide your tribe, those you're here to serve? That's what I mean by landed. So if you're really clear on your business and you know who you serve and you know your outcome and you're looking to collaborate with somebody, you want to be sure that there's a nice fit and alignment with the other person. Are you serving the same tribe? Do you have a complementary because I don't believe in competition, but like where there could be issues with two people trying to, feel like there's competition. I don't go there. So really looking, is there a complementary alignment with what you both offer? That can really serve the same people. That's really very important to a collaboration. Does that make sense, Judy?
It does. And so there's another question now that you've opened that door. So we're talking to someone. What might be some of the questions that you found in your practice that really enable people?
It's very easy.
Good.
It's very easy, actually. So who do you serve? And you listen. What's the specific outcome that you provide? And you listen. You will find out very quickly by how able they are to articulate those two things, whether or not they're landed. Just those two questions alone are going to tell you.
I love that. That is perfect, because I know a lot of people are looking specifically for partners at, like I say, conferences. And I think that's a good tool if you're heading toward a conference or a networking event, to have those two in your back pocket, because that way you can really either move through. It's simple. Thank you. That's perfect. The other term I heard you use, and I'm not sure if it was you or Jobie, it was win-win-win. And we often hear win-win. I love that third win. So talk a little bit about that and how you came to that, because I think that is often overlooked.
Yeah, Jobie and I have talked about this at length, and we could say win-win-win-win, truthfully, because if we're thinking about, I'm just all about the win, it's like your tribe, your business, your collaborator's tribe, collaborator's business, and actually where we fit in the middle. So it's a win-win-win for our businesses, for who we're serving, and who we separately serve. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely, and I think that is often overlooked. And that's why I think that's, I'll say, a differentiator from most programs that talk about collaboration. Because right now, a lot of people are I'll say, more cognizant of collaborating because of the shared economy. And that has really moved a lot of people.
I'm going to take you to a little more of a spiritual place for just a second. It's all about energy. There's no possible way that if one person is not looking after the other person's highest good in a heart-centered collaboration, there's no way that it's going to really thrive. It has to be in what I call highest good. And so that's an intent that, we're very conscious of, okay, wait, so, and I know Jobie and I both do this, is how is this going to serve both of us separately, exit strategy, right? And also really those individuals that we're here to serve collectively. So it's highest good, and it can't work. If that's not in balance, it won't thrive. It can't.
Yeah, that's really key. And I think one of the pieces that's important in a collaboration, whether you just do a really quick one just to see how the alignment works, or if it's a longer term one, is to have really open communication. And that's why the relationship piece is so important with the collaboration, because what happens is you sometimes start a collaboration with one idea and then things start to shift as you realize. I mean, even Debbie and I, when we first got together, we had an idea of what the outcome would be for the people that we'd be serving. And as we started working together, we're like, wow, this is so much bigger than we thought. Yeah. And we realized that even the collaborating topic itself was so important. So we decided to make it about all the steps of collaboration. So it's really key through this process, whether it's kind of on the first date when you're just learning through the networking process, or whether it's once you're a month or two into a collaboration, to just continue to be open and really express what's going on so that the relationship stays really strong. And I would just say that whether it's the same way as it is in personal relationships, professional relationships, they are the biggest personal development on this earth. They really are. And so when we look at the win-win-win, being open, speaking our truth, really being conscious about how we communicate, oh my God, that's so big. Really huge.
Right. Debbie, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think that she's saying it's so interesting because her, Jobie's landed perspective and what she's here doing, her purpose is really about relationships and money. And so, when she says that relationships are like the greatest, this is your greatest personal development platform, you also hear it being said that businesses, being an entrepreneur, is the greatest personal development platform,
most
which
definitely.
happens to be how I approach things. I'm more on, how do we create your purpose, turn it into a strategy, and create a profitable business, all heart-centered. And I see business as your greatest personal development platform because I've personally experienced it. You have to sell yourself all of a sudden, right? It's a very different ballgame. So we've got relationships and business coming together, two very powerful platforms for personal development, and you're bringing them together. So how much more powerful can that be even for you as an evolving person?
Right. Yeah. And I think anybody who has ever started a business or chosen the entrepreneurial path knows that it is definitely a ongoing process and one for tremendous personal development and character experiences. So someone's interested in this program. How do you deliver this program, and what might the next steps be?
Yeah. Do you want me to cover it, Jobie?
Sure, go ahead. Jump on it.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually are rolling out the Heartcentered Collaboration 8-week course. It begins on February 3rd, I believe is the date, Jobie, is that correct? We're having a welcome call this coming week, but you can join up until the 3rd of February. If you want to learn, first of all, just even more, go to our website, heartcenteredcollaborations.com/checklist. And you can get the free checklist on how to choose your right partner. This will give you a good glimpse of the intricacies of just the very first step of the program, which is choosing that right partner. And then you can look at, we'll definitely invite you to look at the program as well and see if it might be a fit for you. Jobie, do you have any more to add in that regard?
Well, in the actual program itself, we actually go through every one of the steps that we discussed here at the beginning, and we just briefly went through them. We start before those steps with a getting started call, which is all about envisioning your most profitable year ever. And then we go through each of those steps, and I'll just kind of reiterate the steps in case anyone jumped in a little bit late and wants to hear them. We kind of go through module 1 of how to define the right partner, module 2, how to establish heart-centered communications. Module 3, how to choose the right collaboration type. Module 4, how to identify the right offer. Module 5, how to clarify your collaboration strategy. And Module 6, how to establish collaboration agreements. And then we have all kinds of fun bonuses that we threw in, and I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I will tell you that one of them is a full day retreat. And we did a mini retreat a couple weeks ago, and people loved it, really fun. Lots of learning about how to get more clients, increase revenue, and how to make a really bigger impact with your work, but having a lot of fun while you're doing it. So that's all part of the program. And like she said, like Debbie said, it starts February 3rd. Yeah.
I'm going to mention only because we talked about this and it seemed to strike a chord with you, Judy. One of the bonuses is actually one of my programs that I'm gifting to those that sign up on how to articulate what you do, right? Yes. Which is what we were just talking about. And I'm very, the reason why I care about saying this right now to you is because personally, and I've seen, oh my gosh, the heartache of my clients when they're struggling to say what they do in a way that people understand so that they can really enroll clients. It's painful. It really is. And so I care about that. I really want you to be able to express what you're here to do in the world. And so I'm gifting that as a part of the process because I just think it's so important that you can articulate so you can attract the right collaboration partner. And Jobie's added in a really great money wealth goddess bonus too, if she wants to say anything about that. But so there's just some things we're trying to add that we know are foundational, although outside of the program.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you what that one is since Debbie mentioned it. It's about how to have the money mindset of a wealth goddess. And you can be a man or a woman, but it's about having that money mindset. I was just
going to ask you that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, and you can be a man or a woman, but as you know, Judy, I was a financial advisor 15 years. I sold my business, and so the financial background is a big piece for me. And so it's really about the mindset around money, your belief systems, because honestly, if you decide to collaborate with someone who wants to like pinch pennies and is being super careful around money, and the other person really wants to invest in whether it's marketing or events or different things, and you're on a different page around that, you'll fail immediately. So really having that money mindset, that prosperity mindset, that abundance mindset is really key. So that's one of the bonuses. Like Debbie said, it's a foundational piece that you need to have success. So that's going to be part of the program as well.
And it's on the checklist. That particular prosperity, money prosperity, is one of the items on the great partner checklist.
Fantastic.
Is that alignment is there.
Lovely. So as we wrap up this, I'm going to turn it over to each of you to give some parting advice and wisdom about the program and maybe something about your entrepreneurial journey that you'd like to share, something that you learned. And again, most of the people watching this have their business, are thinking about starting it. So anything, any wisdom that you can share would be appreciated.
I will just say, and I mentioned this earlier as well, but there's a message that I've received throughout my entrepreneurial experience, being an entrepreneur for 17 years. Every time I hit a plateau in my business, I was receiving the message, you've gotten as far as you can get alone. And I knew that it was the universe saying to me, you know, if you want to make this impact, if you want to have the revenue clients you desire, you can't do it all yourself. And it was such a truthism, you know, such a, like, in my heart, I knew the 3 times that this has particularly happened in my life. And I see this happen with my clients as well. You hit a plateau, and it's a sign that, you know, you need people to thrive and in your business as well. So I would just encourage you, if you're like doing it all yourself and feeling overwhelmed or you're getting exhausted, adrenal fatigue is common in my tribe, just really pushing to get results and doing it all yourself, there will come a point in time, if you're like me and you want to make an impact and grow your business, that you're going to want to look at collaborating. Heartcentered though.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll just jump in real quick, Debbie and Judy. I'll just say that for me, and Debbie always says this about me, for me, it has to be fun. Yeah. So whether I'm working by myself as an entrepreneur or I'm working in a collaboration, I need to feel connection and really have fun, enjoy, whether it's in partnership or alone. So I would just say to anyone who's considering a business or someone who's wanting to ramp up their business to the next level, make sure that the fun and the joy stays in your business.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you, too, for being on the show. Again, this is Encore Chat, and it's hosted by Encorepreneur 101. And my takeaway from this is one of the concepts I truly believe in is interdependence, and that we all depend on one another. And heart-centered collaboration is a way that you can establish your businesses or burgeoning business into growing your sales, your mission, and most importantly, the why you created your business. So again, that wraps up today's show. Thank you for joining us. And if you're watching the replay, remember to subscribe to the next show. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thanks, Judy. Thanks so much.
Take care. Bye.